as nighttime kicks in here in the Middle East. So this is the rumble that we've been waiting for. The V8 Supercars roar back into life for 2011.
Oh, Lounge stopped.
Lounge has launched it, and Alex Davison has just blitzed him at the start. He took advantage and went straight through.
And Craig's going to be about 5th or 6th by the time they deal with this. He's out on the wide part of the section of the track leading up to turn 2 and 3. Wildly out of control there.
Someone spun.
That's Will Davison, I reckon.
Yeah, it is. He's turned around. Oh, it's going to be massive. That was a great bit of driving by a lot of guys. We'll get another look at that. But they missed him, and it was a fantastic bit of driving.
He was very lucky.
Man, that was close. We saw drama down here at the start of last year, but it's happened earlier in this race. That was on for young and old at turn 2 and turn 3.
So Davison, the big winner. Whincup waiting to pounce. There's Mark Winterbottom, Paul Dumbrell. So Lowndes is tucked in behind Dumbrell.
And Will Davison saying that he hasn't hit anything, but the tyres are damaged, so he'll have to come in and rectify that problem. For one of the Fujitsu cars, did he end up turning around? Caruso, he was in the background, and he got a fair serve.
Whincup is wasting no time.
Good pass. Alex was very nice to him then. It was just way too gentlemanly, that stuff. Get across, you've got to cover that line. So Whincup gets a pretty easy pass made down into turn 11.
Driving, mate. Excellent driving.
Now,
Eyes forward, let's pull a gap.
as you can hear Mark Dutton, eyes forward, let's pull a gap. This is turn 15, 16. This is so fast. That's 210 kilometres an hour through there. This is 18 and 19, they're 90k corners. This is right in behind the marina and the hotel. So come up to the 2 last corners to complete the first lap. There's Lowndes. So Lowndes down to 5th spot. Here's the start. Lowndes has a weird jump. You watch the front of Lowndes' car. There you go, it almost stalls. Fantastic start for Alex Davison.
And just confirming, Caruso is at the tail of the field, so when we saw him in a half rotation over the back of the circuit, that has happened, and he's dropped to the rear in the Fujitsu car. Just like talking about that team, Gary Rogers Motorsport. Gary will be back in Melbourne at the moment watching the telecast. He's just had a hip replacement operation, so Gary, all the best with that. We look forward to seeing you soon in Adelaide.
Well, almost by sheer survival instincts, Alex Davison found the front of the field there because he had to get past Craig Lowndes. There was a split-second difference between Lowndes stalling completely and Davison running into him. So Davison went left and found himself at the front. So
look at this.
Watch this for Will Davison. So, oh, this is so close.
Watch this. That there, Luff,
Warren Luff.
Fiore and Murphy have done a fantastic job.
I wonder whether or not Will got a helping hand there.
Oh, for sure. You can't have a lose there without one.
Here we go. The second race of the season. The big question is, can they catch Jamie Whincup? They spread out and go roaring down to turn 1. Whincup goes through cleanly. Winterbottom as well. Here's where it gets tricky, up over the rise. This is where Will Davison had a spectacular off.
Alberto off the racetrack, he turns Tim Slade
that's
away.
a big crunch at the top of the hill. It's not done with yet. Garth Tander's involved, Tim Slade's involved, Todd Kelly's involved.
Now that started with Alberto off the racetrack on the inside, and then there was just nowhere where all the cars could go once they started crunching into each other.
So D'Alberto definitely started. He went down the inside of the road, couldn't get it stopped, and safety car out now. A lot of damage to those cars. Garth Tander.
Almost exactly the same spot as race 1, just a little bit further up the road. Will Davison had a big spin yesterday and somehow managed to avoid everyone, not this time around. So there's D'Alberto's car. Look at the mess on the other side of the track.
So Tim Slade has been collected in that. Garth Tander, and that's Tony D'Alberto's car off in the distance. There's the Lucky 7 car, and a lot of radiator fluid coming out. Here's what happened. So for some reason, Tony just ends up off the racetrack on the left. No, he didn't make contact. He's just driven up there. That was... And then he's tagged the back of Slade.
Oh.
Tander's got nowhere to go into Slade. Steve Owen's gone straight to the back of Slade's car. Here he is again from the other angle.
So look for Todd Kelly's car. There's Todd. Bang. Slade. Tander. Webb. Reynolds. Gisbergen spun in the background. D'Alberto, massive damage to the front and the back.
That was all a bit average, really.
That was average.
And look at the rear wing on the back of Todd's car. That's not nice. The centre of pressure on that car is going to move dramatically forward, which is going to make it really hard to drive and actually worry about whether that's going to come unglued.
I wouldn't want it. Has right now. So good call. That wing has come off there, and that might cause a safety car because you're going to have to be able to run out. There's going to be a big crash. Oh, he's off the road, so he wouldn't have known that that had taken place. So he went off, but he didn't make contact with the fence. But I think, given that the wing is on the road there, you're going to have to call the safety car and get that off the road. There's the wing coming off Hazelwood. Now, when he turns in, have a look at that for a moment. Check this out, and he is spinning off the end of the main straight with no rear downforce. Remember, that car's probably got, they've roughly got 355 kilos of total downforce, but a lot of that, 2/3 of it, comes from the back.
And that's measured at 200 kilometres an hour.
Yeah.
So he's doing 270 odd when he gets down there. So that's what I said before, that all of a sudden the aero balance disappears. It all goes to the front. The front wing's too effective because there is no rear wing.
McLaughlin's got control of the field. They're single file. And he'll decide when he wants to crack the throttle. Control line is the determinant to be able to pass. Look at Waters, he's pretty keen and hungry here. And away they go, we're racing once more. Perth Super Night, big contact. And Kelly's gone to the inside on the grass. Here comes Coulthard down the inside as well. Wild stuff on the restart, but McLaughlin's still in control.
Clumsy restart because Scott went so late, all the others were trying to predict it. Cam Waters started it, and it was actually Shane Van Gisbergen who was down the inside. Now Rick gets hit again. Slade is down the inside at turn 4. Rick's around there. You never get around there two abreast. And they have. Well done. The trick is fire it down there. Now watch this. This is the restart. So it's all clumsy. Van Gisbergen gets a little overlap. Oh, that was so close to going in the inside fence. I called it, but I thought he was in. I thought he was gone. Made the grass, he straightened it up.
He did too.
Here we go. Watch this. Oh.
Man, so he managed to get 3 signs in that process. So you're right, it was the checkup from McLaughlin who went late and everybody else trying to anticipate it. And then when Rick tried to cover, Shane was down the inside. They'll have to have a look at that one to decide whether there's any case there, but it's going to be hard to unravel because they were both in that battle.
Watch this. So down the other side, that's James Courtney. That's at 220 kilometres an hour. Now watch the front. It comes out. There it is. It flies out. Look at it all gone.
Yeah, so anyway, there's the bit of styrene. So low pressure area in behind another car. That might have helped, plus a bit of bump. Let's see what all this looks like. So Fullwood tucked right in behind Jamie Whincup, and I expect to hear from Cam's race control or Motorsport Australia race control shortly on what's going to happen about Bryce's start. And they'll look into the Kostecki-Courtney incident. We're racing once again. And it's going to be brutal in the background for visibility.
Off the road. That's Van Gisbergen. That's off the road massively. Can he stop it before the fence? Yes, he does. Very lucky for Shane. The series leader, 418 points up the road, off at turn 1.
And they roared in the grandstand watching that action down there at turn 1, just right alongside us. So a wet and super slippery Sydney Motorsport Park on the restart, and it catches Shane Van Gisbergen out big time.
This is the restart, so have a look at the action in the back of the field there and park yourself in the middle of this field when you can't see anything, you don't know where the cars are going, you certainly don't know who's behind you, and you're 3 abreast, roughly 250 kilometres an hour. This is Van Gisbergen disappearing off the road. He turned in, it had no front grip, and I thought he was making the fence at that point.
Yeah, me too. And I think it'd be a fair chance that he thought the same thing. We teased the prospect of rain earlier, now it has arrived. The Supercars Superstars looking even better under lights as the field roars towards turn 1 for a wet weather lottery. And look at Bryce Fullwood around the
reckon he jumped the start, Neil. He come past everybody when they were parked up, so I reckon there'll be a bit to look at in that world. But Dan Gisbergen still gets down the inside. Nice job. It's actually Jamie Whincup. I'm sorry, I've got that totally mistaken because Whincup has been able to displace his teammate. Nice job, Jamie Whincup. Forward.
Those cars went wildly off to the outside of turn 3. There were two of them heavily buried, and one of them is Brody Kostecki. The other one
is James Courtney. The two boost cars are in the fence. Courtney and Kostecki are in the fence on the way out of 3.
Let's have a look at the replay and see if we can unpack what's gone on here. So where are they? Okay, they're up on the left-hand side of frame here, and they've just gone off. At this point, there's no contact between them, so it's happened further back. And actually, that's pretty gentle contact down there. Here we go. This is riding with Brody, one of the two participants in this. Let's listen.
Yeah, they're gone. Good pace. So how does this happen? So,
Hey,
Andre and Thomas having a little bumping duel. Is he trying to come over? I don't know what that was. There must have been a bit of history to this.
Yeah, you'll need to go back in time to understand what that was all about. Almost 3 wide down here, and what a moment as they run 3 wide through 4. It's a block of supercar action, and Mostert pops out the other side. How is that for an unbelievable switch around?
That was a really, really well executed manoeuvre. And Waters now to fire down the inside of his fellow Mustang driver. Now this is really costing Waters because as all this battles, he's got the 5 seconds to come off.
Big pressure here when they get down to turn 4. Shane's having a run. He's got a nice little handy extra edge, and Will knows about it, covers him down there. He had an extra K or 2 coming out of there, and how's the amount of opposite that Will's got? So this is going to force Shane wide at 5, but he ducks to the inside. He fans the throttle to see if he can thread it up the inside rather than being hung out to dry. So the gigantic pressure here at the moment on Brown.
Nice job. He did a good job to come off there, nice and straight. Now, the task is now, do not get tricked at turn 8. Stop it on the inside, pull up in the middle, you stop it on the inside, pull up in the middle, pull up in the middle, get the little bump, and straighten it up. Now this is now the opposite to what it was before.
I'm just going to let it go.
Yeah.
Got him.
Got him. Let it go. Fucking hell.
Just got him. All right, here we go. The pendulum swings the other way now for Kostecki in the championship chase. And he wins for the first time since the Grand Prix in Melbourne.
All right, well, you're right.
Beautiful drive. Well done, Brody.
It's definitely a bunch of run. You can't run into someone's back and just keep pushing them. Really impressive, mate. Really well done.
Position 2. Van Gisbergen will get on the podium. Will Brown's aggrieved.
Flag, green flag.
As well, exactly what we were talking about pre-race.
He may have got a bump there, Macaulay Jones, because there was some tyre squealing before those two cars fired off the outside there. I was going to say Thomas Randall was a bit too gentlemanly at turn 1 on the turn-in, but he was nice off turn 1 and commands the lead.
Wild scene down there at turn 2. We'll try and understand that story for you as Waters offers up the nose on the inside to see whether he can have a peek at his teammate. 2x2 through turn 6. Closest to camera there in the Bendix car was Nick Percat. Randall Waters, Mostert, Dick Pasquale, Davison 1 through 5. Remember, cold tyres at this stage, real easy to lock a brake, but also a great opportunity early in the race to make hay if a gap appears anywhere, and they are well and truly aware of that. Exit turn 8 out of the slowest corner on the racetrack. Up into this highly complex right then left through 9 and 10. Randall's got a little margin of just over 1/3 of a second. They've already started to get an appreciation of what the cars feel like for this evening. Randall over Waters, then Mostert, then Di Pasquale and Davison. Waters having lost a spot. Payne's made 3 places up to position number 7 off the back end of the top 10 after the shootout. Here's some of the story. Okay, so Macaulay is literally just a victim in the process there. So that was very strange for Frosty, whatever was going on there. On board here with Waters.
So right here, I thought that Thomas was too gentlemanly. And then right about now, he did a really nice job to contain the slide and was able to maintain P1.
And for Thomas, you're blindsided out there. You can't really see where Cam is. You can half hear him. You might get a glimpse of colour. And he was on the slide out there on a cold tyre. How's this for a replay? So gigantic lock-up and a veer to the right for Winterbottom. Clean bowls Macaulay Jones. And here's another angle of it down here on the approach run into turn 2. Thumping shunt into the left-hand corner of the Pizza Hut car.
And it looked like Frosty had to over-brake at that point because he was going to run into the back of one of their Heimgarten.